Hello, welcome to another episode of A Few Minutes with Marvin. I inspire those who aspire to make positive changes in their lives. And in this video, I want to cover the 5 top things that are causing you stress that you have no idea are causing you stress. Why are you stressed out? Let's find out. So one of the things that I learned on my spiritual journey that that was causing me stress, and I had no idea that it was, but it's one of the first things that I started to do back in probably 2019. I just started to declutter. We don't realize that your environment around you and how it's packed and overfilled, it overwhelms your senses. You know, now I'm obviously in a storage room that needs to be decluttered, and I intend to do that today because I didn't realize that subconsciously, man, it's really cluttering up my mind, right? Because every time I walk in here to grab something, I'm like, man, something needs to be done about this. So realize what's the clutter in your life, and it could be an attic, it could be a basement, it could be a junk drawer, it could be your bedroom, stuff lying all over the place, things not hung up properly or put away properly. It really psychologically has an effect on you that you may not be aware of. So that is the number one thing that I learned on my spiritual journey, and all of a sudden I just started, although I was mindful about keeping my room clean and keeping my bed somewhat made, I wasn't adamant about it. I wasn't thinking about it all the time. You know, if I didn't make my bed, no big deal. But then I learned, as I'm structuring my life and trying to transform and make changes, one of the things I had to do was change my habits. I had to get up every time I woke up and make my bed. And that just brought just a different energy to me. It really did. Just a simple act of making my bed every day. Every day. Now I do it subconsciously. I've been doing it for 4 or 5 years now. Now it's just what I do. I won't get out of my room without cleaning that bed, right? And not leaving stuff all over the stuff on the floor or whatever. I'm organizing things, putting things in hampers now, right? When I go into the living room or the kitchen or anywhere, I don't leave things lying around all over the place. And you may say, oh, that's very trivial, menial, means nothing, but it means a whole lot more than you can even imagine. I had a friend back in Long Island. Well, I judged and I made fun of because he could not leave one dirty dish in the sink. He couldn't do it. He couldn't bring himself to leave it. I didn't understand that. I thought that was OCD. You may think that's OCD too, and that's fine. But I used to judge him. I mean, even at times where he would come home, after a few drinks, make stuff in the refrigerator, and just leave stuff all over the place as most people would. In the middle of the night, he would wake up, whether he was conscious of it or not, and he would do those dishes and clean that area up and then go back to bed. He just couldn't allow that to happen. Again, you may think that's OCD, but from my perspective now, do I go to that extent? No, but I don't leave anything out anymore. Dishes, towels, nothing. And it's made a shift in my life. So that may be one thing that's causing you stress that you don't even know. So it's something worth exploring, isn't it? I hope you do. I hope this brings something new. This one little shift, right? It's about taking baby steps. It's not about doing, performing miracles all the time. It's about cleaning that junk drawer. It's about cleaning up your dirty room. It's about making your bed. It's about doing dishes, right? That just brings nice structure into your life. It actually brings you peace, right? Because you don't know all the external things that are vibrating and just causing you overwhelm. And then you get home and all of a sudden your daughter didn't put her stuff away and you're screaming at her. That's stress. So if you do these things yourself and teach people that you live with to be more mindful of it, boom, that's a good stress reliever right there. Try it. Second thing that we're not really conscious of that's causing us a lot of stress is, I don't know if you can hear it right now, right? It's these machines. It's that music, even though it's a nice mindful meditation music. But listen to the humming coming from this refrigerator here. There's nothing I can do to drown that out, right? But if you notice in some of my other videos I've done here, you can hear those things in the background, and I don't hear them anymore. Because you can tune yourself to a different frequency and not allow those noises to come at you and take you out of balance. But they can, and they do, unknowingly to you. If you live in a big city, and I was born and raised in big cities my entire life, most of my life, probably 50 years of my life, 40 years of my life, those just become background noises. But we don't realize that those noises are emitting a frequency, right? And that they really cause our bodies to just be in a state of disarray as it is. And then couple that with a bad day at work or loss of something, right? Boyfriend breaks up with you, girlfriend breaks up with you, whatever. Now you have all this other noise, right? And the street noise and the ambulances and everything, motorcycles and the pollution and noise pollution, the bells, right? You don't realize how overwhelming those things become, right? Because you're not tuned into the fact that they are creating some kind of stress in you, and they are triggering you. They're triggering your anger, and they're enabling your anger to be there, right? Because it's just constant barrage of this noise and this frequency that's entering your body. It's not doing you any good. And there's not a whole lot we can do with some of these things. I can't do anything about that refrigerator unless I unplug it, but then I can't sell any food. So these are some of the things that, as you're going through your day, tune into the noise that's around you and intend not to allow that noise or those vibrations to enter your subconscious and to stress you out or to make a trivial situation worse because of all the constant barrage. And this is true of electrical currents that are going through your home and your basement and wherever you work, right? Those are constant energies that are flowing that can make you feel like you're being watched, make you paranoid. That's stress. So wherever you can eliminate those in your life, do that. And I know that that's impossible for most of us, but being aware of it, I'm aware that that's making a humming sound. I am not allowing it into my space, right? Because I choose not to take in that frequency. That's a low vibrational frequency from my perspective. That's going to keep me stressed out, right? And then times where I am starting to get a little stressed, I have to be mindful of those noises and tune those out. It takes some practice and it takes some intention. You have to literally say, I hear that noise, but I don't allow that noise to affect me and what I'm doing or take me out of my concentration, right? You can do that. And knowing it mindfully, it's going to help you shift. And it's going to create less stress in your life, because a lot of the stress that you're having doesn't need to be there. It's being amplified by things around you, like clutter, like noise. So be aware, be mindful of it, and start shifting that, saying, I am aware of it. Can I get myself out of this? And if you can't, and say, all right, I'm here, I'm present with it, I know it's there, it's not affecting me. I set a boundary with it, an energetic boundary. You are that powerful. Start intending to do that because you don't know that these sounds and noises are affecting you in negative ways. I hope this shines a light on some of the reasons why you're getting stressed for no reason. What's around you, the conduits, the electricity, the noises, the street noises, the honking and all that. Be mindful of that, and you're going to shift, and you're going to become stress-free. Maybe not stress-free, but you're gonna lessen your stress, and that's important. And the third thing that you may not realize is causing you a lot of stress or amplifying your stress. And this one that's very common, and none of us know this, right? I myself know it very well now because I've chosen not to tune in to the programming. That's right, folks. Television, the news, social media, your Game Boy, or PlayStation, or whatever. Those things are causing you stress. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I haven't watched TV or tuned in to TV. There's a difference, right? 'Cause have I watched TV? Yeah. I have the meditation music on now. I watch YouTube. You know, I don't listen to the news anymore at all. I don't look at feeds. I don't read newspapers. I don't do any of that stuff. Yeah, it's true. It is true. And how may you ask, are these things causing you stress? That's simple. First of all, there is a frequency coming through these devices, right? It's all energy, right? The television, the radio waves, all of that is pulsating through you, right? And the more that you're in it and with it, the more it's affecting you, your nervous system, especially when you're watching movies or watching things on YouTube and Facebook, where something triggers you, gets you angry, right? Or makes you react, or judge, right? Oh, look at that person, whatever. Laughter's great, but if the laughter is coming at you from a perspective of somebody hurting themselves, right? Those jackass type stuff, which I was a big fan of, but I don't put my attention to that anymore because that's a negative frequency coming in. That's causing you stress. That's stressing your mind, and it's stressing your body. If you have anything in your body that's already aching and hurting, these waves that are coming at you, they're not positive. I don't know how to stress that enough to you. They're using a 440 hertz frequency, which is a low depressional vibration. So yeah, these things, these cell phones, everything that we have, they're negatively affecting us and causing us stress and amplifying that stress, which is even worse. Because yes, we're always going to have a little bit of stress, but we don't have to let it overwhelm us. What overwhelms us is these amplifiers, these 5 things that I'm talking about now, that really amplify our moods. So if you're in a negative mood, it's just going to make it more negative, right? And to be in a positive mood, you have to get out of those things. Turn off that television. Shut off the radio. Don't listen to the YouTube video today in that moment, right? When you're feeling stressed, shut everything off. Shut your phone off. That 5G, it's not helpful to us. I'm not going to go into any conspiracy theories about it, but it really isn't, And you may say, well, you're using a phone to record yourself. Yeah, because this is how I get my message. So I'm using this energy, right? Not for what it's intending, but for the purposes of bringing light, right, and love. That's why I use it. So I'm intentionally not allowing the negativity to come into my body from the 5G or anything else. I mean, it's not just the phones, but it's all around us. But I'm very aware of it. So you have to be aware that these things are causing you stress. Like, it's not stressing me out to use this phone to record because I don't allow the negative energies that are intended to come in to be here. And I'm reversing it, right? I'm reversing the curse. So I'm using this medium to project out positivity, but I'm not receiving the negativity from it in return. I'm just not. And you have to be mindful of those things, and that comes from the television, that comes from the radio, that comes from the news. All the news, when they're putting out negative thoughts, and that's all that they're putting out there. Again, you may say, oh, you're anti-news. No, I'm not anti-news, but they're not reporting what's good for me. So why would I tune into it? You know, and how do I know what they're reporting is true anyway? I don't. So I choose not to tune into it, so it doesn't affect me either way, because that's what these things are doing to you with the advertisements. They want to program your mind. They want to shift you into buying what they tell you to buy, and you know, the advertisers and whatever. Sorry, but whatever they're trying to promote, whether it's things to put in your body that have all these side effects, which we don't need. All that stuff is causing you stress, and you don't know it. So just being mindful of it. You know, it wasn't hard for me to stop watching TV because I could just see it clearly, and I knew that it was programming. It was a little harder for me to give up watching movies, and I did that. It was even harder to stop watching YouTube videos because they were all what I was for my growth, right? So most of what I watch on YouTube is motivational stuff and spiritual things and teaching, learning things, right? But those become addictions too. So I had to cut back on those things because it was taking my energy from me and stressing me out. They just were. Or I had the FOMO, fear of missing out, if I didn't watch this YouTube as soon as, you know, the notification came on my phone. And people do that with those television shows. They have to be there 8 o'clock every night to watch the show on wherever, Netflix, HBO, whatever. That's a stress. That's not a good stress. So just be mindful of it. Make the decision. I'm going to watch this because I choose to, and I don't allow it to control me. I don't allow any negativity to come from it that enter my body. I'm doing this willingly and knowingly and consciously. Once you do those things, you're not stressed out about it. Right? It's not there anymore. And that goes with sports. That goes with everything that you watch on TV. Right? Well, if it causes you an emotion. I'll get off my soapbox now about television and media and news and all that stressing you out. But it is stressing you out. So, all right, moving right along to number 4. And this one you're probably very well aware of, but you're kind of like, nah, I like my candy too much, or I like my chocolate too much. And of course we're talking about your diet, right? And what are you putting into your body that's causing you stress? It's not helping you, right? And I'm gonna reference, obviously, you know, the goodies, the cupcakes, right? All the sweet stuff, even the chips and the muffins, right? Those choices that you make every day, the fried foods, the gluten, right? Now I'm not saying cut out bread, but be mindful of how much of that, you know, processed foods you're putting into your body, the flour, right? Even the pastas, really not that good for you, you know, and you know, things like choosing the brown rice over the white rice. Making those decisions is critical to your well-being and to your stress levels. All of these foods, these processed foods especially, but even whole fruits and vegetables, right? They carry some stressors in them. Every food that you eat has a vibration. Is it a positive vibration or is it a lower vibration, a negative vibration? From my perspective, junk food, fast food, right? Even some of the foods prepared in restaurants, right? If you're piling cheese on it or it's all steak and no vegetables, or even if it's all chicken or turkey and no vegetables and something of nutritional value. Not that those things don't have nutritional value, but from my perspective, meat doesn't, right? It's not what we've been led to believe, but that's my opinion on it, and that's why I choose not to eat it. So the foods that I'm putting in my body aren't stressing me out. To my knowledge, there may be some small things. I do eat dried cranberries and dried raisins and stuff like that. That's sugar, right? That's not that great either, but it's healthier than the options of anything with processed and refined sugar and granulated sugars and a lot of salt, right? Sodium, sugar, those things are detrimental to your health, and they affect your cortisol levels and your nervous system, whether you realize it or not. Those things are causing stress to your body because let's face it, the cheaper things are, the less nutritional values they are, and the more chemically enhanced they are. And those chemicals are stressing your body out. Look at the labels of some of the foods you're eating. Listen to commercials about these foods and what the potentials for your cholesterol levels and your cortisol levels, and even prescription medications. I'm going to put that in this diet thing too. And non-prescription medications, over-the-counter stuff. If it has a side effect that, okay, it's going to relieve your headache, but it's going to give you this, that's stressing your body out. That's not doing you any good. Again, this isn't a Debbie Downer video, but this is a reality video about the things that you're doing unconsciously to yourself that's causing your body to be stressed, and then every time it manifests itself outwardly as somebody else causing you stress or some other situation causing you stress, when those things are just amplifying the stress that's already in you that you're putting into your body yourself, the food choices that you're making, right? And I'm not telling you what diet's good for you, what's not. Only you can determine that. But these foods have vibrations that's causing you stress. And if you keep putting them into your body, then just know that you're mindfully doing it. You're mindfully causing yourself to be stressed out, because these are going to amplify anything outside of you to make it worse, to create that thought, that's going to bother you for the rest of the day. All you had to do was eat a piece of fruit. It's not that simple, but it can be if you change your diet. And I'm very mindful about my diet, but I allow myself to have those sugary snacks every now and again, but I feel the consequences, right? The cause and effect. I put that into my body knowingly, and even though I choose not to process it in a negative way, it's still going into this body, right? And I can't control where it goes, right? My body automatically puts it where it's supposed to be. But if I'm putting something in it that my body doesn't want or is trying to reject, it's causing me a stress, which, will be indigestion, right? Indigestion is caused by stress. It can be, a pain somewhere that's not a physical pain or a muscle pain, you just don't know where it's coming from. That's your body stressed out from the food that you're putting into it and the choices that you're making with your diet. So just be mindful of what you're putting into your body, and just know that it could potentially be stressing you out and being a trigger to keep you stressed, in conjunction with the noise pollution, in conjunction with the television that you're watching, right? These things all work hand in hand. But if you don't know that they're causing you stress, then you don't know that you have to do something about it, and that you can do something about it. So look, make small changes to your diet. It doesn't have to be, boom, immediate, cold turkey. Small, mindful changes, baby steps. Start introducing new foods, right? And start eliminating some of the foods that aren't doing your body good. So that's the diet stress that you're unaware of. And the last things that's causing you stress that you're probably not aware of, and that if you were more aware of, you'd probably stop, right? And that's you, your thoughts, right? Your mind. Every thought that you put out there is a frequency, and as you put it out, it's going to come back to you, right? So if you're putting out negative thoughts, doom and gloom, jealousy, judgment, hate, violence, right? Lack, sadness, heartbreak, right? Fear. You're putting those out from your body, from your mind, from your soul, from your thoughts. And you're projecting them onto somebody else. And that somebody else is a mirror, and it's going to bounce right back at you. So if you're projecting out negative thoughts and energies and, wishing people dead, you're going to get somebody to come into your life that's going to throw it right back at you, and it's going to stress you out even more. And that's going to cause you heart attack. It's going to cause clogged arteries. It's going to cause irritable bowel syndrome. It's going to cause some kind of failure in your system. Yeah, it's true. It's not just coming from the foods that you're eating that's causing you inflammation and stress, right? It's your thoughts, right? And then what you're receiving back from those thoughts that are affecting your cortisol levels, your heart, your digestive system. These are all reactions. These are all chemical reactions to what you're thinking. So if you haven't thought about this before, it's time to start thinking about your thoughts and what you want to project out there, because what you project and what you think, you create. So yes, you are stressing yourself out by thinking negative thoughts. And when you have those negative thoughts, they're amplified by, you guessed it, the television, social media, the noise, the foods that you're eating. All of those things come together and create stress, which create inflammation, which creates disease, dis-ease, discomfort in some way, shape, or form into your body. And don't forget the clutter. All of these things in conjunction are causing you a lot of stress. So be mindful of eliminating some things in your life. It's gonna open you up, right? Start with one junk drawer that every time you look at it, it's like, damn, I can't find anything in there. Take it apart. Throw out what you don't need. Put in there what you do need. That's a relief. That's a stress relief, and it's very simple. Take one room a week, one room a month, whatever it is. Change your habits, Start making your bed every day. That's one little shift in the habit that's going to de-stress you. Start, instead of eating a muffin today, have a fruit for breakfast or lunch or wherever meal you're looking at. Make that one shift. Instead of saying, oh my God, I just woke up and it's going to be the worst day ever because I got to do this, I got to do that. Instead of doing that, wake up and go, it's going to be the best day ever. I love myself. Everything's perfect. My life is a paradise. Whether you believe it or not, intend it. So now in the morning you're waking up with no stress because your world is perfect. And just keep that going. Shift your thoughts. When you find yourself judging somebody on that social media or TikTok, for what they've done, reflect and say, oh, it's not something I would do, but if that person does it, perfect for them, right? So now you're not attaching a negative judgment to that person. You're saying that's their choice. It's not my choice, it's their choice. It's that simple. That's a baby step. There's that noise. But just those little things. And if you're in a crowded subway platform, just intend to just be in your own space, right? And just be mindfully meditating, you know, because you can in that stressful situation just shut your mind down. It's not being there. You're there, but you're not allowing all the outward noise to affect you in any way. And then of course, shifting your diet a little bit, and then negative thoughts, right? And projecting what you want out there. If it's positive to you, it's going to be positive to somebody else, and it's going to bring more positive back to you. Conversely, negative to you, it's going to be negative to somebody else, it's going to come back to you as negative, and it's going to stress you. So shifting these 5 things little by little, just going to change your stress levels in your world, where you're going to find yourself less stressed. Even in most cases where people are very stressed, you're going to be the one standing out saying, I'm not stressed, I'm not allowing this to affect me. It's not going to amplify my mood, and if it does, it's going to amplify it positively, not negatively. So let's recap the 5 things that are stressing you out that you had no idea were stressing you out. Number 1 is the clutter, declutter. Number 2 is noise pollution all around you, whether you can control it or not. That's stressing you out. Number 3, very critical to me and important to me, is the TV, the news, the social media, the TikToks, the Facebooks, all of the distractions, the gaming. Intend to cut those back a little bit, because they are causing a lot of stress in you without you even knowing. All those reactions that you're having to it, and responses and the judgments, low vibration, which stresses you out mentally. But as you're stressed mentally, your body's stressed, right? And then couple that with number 4, your poor diet, or choices that you're making. It's just a cesspool of stress is what you're creating for yourself and for everybody around you, because how you show up every day is how other people see you and how other people react to you, right? Poor diet, big part of that. So that's number 4, and number 5 is it's your thoughts. Start projecting positive thoughts, positive images in your mind, positive intentions for your day, right? Instead of starting out with, I got this problem, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, say, no, I'm already having the best day ever. And that intention alone, every day, looking yourself in the mirror, telling yourself I love you, smiling, it's going to shift, right? And you're going to find that all of these things, tackling them little by little, doesn't have to be overnight, making small shifts, you're going to make a big shift in your stress levels, and you are going to start having the best day ever. So intend to have the best day ever, make wiser choices that are leading to stress, start de-stressing yourself, and have an amazing day.